let's talk about radical self-love. Ooh, I love this topic. Okay, the reason I'm talking about radical self-love is because self-love is not the bubble baths. It's not the sneaky glass of wine. Self-love is something so much deeper than that. Now, don't get me wrong, those two things hold their place, but it is not the work that I am talking about when I speak about radical self-love. Now, the reason I talk about this is because we are so confused as to what we actually need to do to love ourselves. We're so confused. So many people in the world are saying, you need to do this, have a bubble bath, go for a run, journal, do all these things. But none of them are actually addressing the key elements which are stopping you from loving yourself in the first place. All these sorts of things are just Bandaid solutions. And I use the Bandaid solution as in, if you have a broken arm, you wouldn't put a Band-Aid on it to fix it, because you know it's not going to do anything in the long run. That arm is still going to be broken. This is what I mean by Band-Aid solutions. To do radical self-love, you need to address the broken arm in the first place and not just slap a Band-Aid on it. And that Band-Aid is things like bubble baths and champagne and little things like that. It means we have to go deep. Now, my journey into this was not an easy one. To go deep into that place of actually facing myself took some dramatic events in my life. And I am so grateful that they happened, but the purpose of them was to show me how deep my love could run in order to see that within myself. Now, I talk about this a lot in my book, which will be coming out very soon. If not, it might already be out by the time you're watching this video. But what I want to get across right now is that to resolve this, to get to the point where you actually do the work to radically love yourself, it means you have to face all those things you don't like about yourself. You can't just slap a Band-Aid over it and say, oh yeah, that's over the side, I can't see it anymore, because it's still there. It will not go away. You need to face these things. This is what radical self-love is. It's facing these perceived wounded parts of ourselves and figuring out how to love them, figuring out how to let them go, or figuring out how to accept the fact they're there and there's nothing we can do about them. And it's in this that broken bone begins to mend. It's then that we can truly say, I love myself because I can get angry sometimes. I love myself because sometimes I can be a bit jealous, and that's okay. The radical self-love is looking at those parts of yourself that make you highly uncomfortable. It's looking at your guilt, your shame, your jealousy, all those sorts of things, and saying, you know what? They are a part of me. That's okay. Now, if you get to the point in your journey where facing yourself, of doing that radical self-love is just too difficult, it is a very hard thing to do, and there are elements of it that sit within our blind spots. So there's elements of it that we cannot see. This is where you need support. You need community to help you through it. If you're at that stage where you just don't know what to do next, you know you've been working on yourself for ages, but you're just not getting anywhere, please reach out to me. I can do a three card intuitive tarot reading for you and give you the next steps you need to do right now in order to radically love yourself and move forward with your life. Love and kindness, my friend.